Hello and welcome back to Football Manager 2020, the Manchester United beta save here on the TomFM channel. Today, we've got Ludogorets in the first knockout round of the Europa League. Both legs of that coming to you today, alongside the Norwich game, which slots in the middle of that. And hopefully, we're going to be picking up 3 wins from 3 games today. Since you were last here, we still play pretty well. We seem to do very well when you're not here, but then when you're here, we lose 2-0 to Chelsea and we draw 1-1 with Leicester like we did last time around. In between episodes, we managed to beat Derby County 2-0 in the FA Cup with a slightly more rotated lineup there. No real youth players playing. Brandon Williams played, but we put a bit more of a stronger line out for this one just because I want to make sure we beat Derby County. We then took on Arsenal at home and won 3-0 with Everton picking up a brace. His first 2 goals in Man United colours. Fantastic to see, with Bernardeschi scoring a goal on his return back to a team following his injury. Following that game, a 5-0 thumping of Newcastle. Everton with another brace, Rashford with 2 and Juan Mata as well with a goal before half-time. That was absolutely superb. A fantastic performance that had us 3-0 up within 6 minutes. Last time out against Southampton, a little less convincing, but a 1-0 win over them with Paul Pogba getting the only goal of the game, his 10th goal of the season as well, may I add. Made sure we won that one to pick up another 3 points in the Premier League, where we stay second in the table for now. Joint on 57 points with Liverpool, 1 point behind Man City on 58. So it's still looking like we could be there for the title fight come the end of the season as well. Arsenal are only 3 points off Man City and 2 points behind us. So it could be a 4-way fight right to the end of the season, which would be very, very interesting. But obviously, we've got eyes on the Europa League today as we take on Ludogorets. So we're going to jump straight into this first game, and I am playing a very rotated lineup. I actually went onto this bit and said, can we have a pick rotated squad full rotation? I told my assistant manager to do it for me. And actually, he's put Sergio Romero in goal. I'd actually rather have De Gea in goal for this, just in case. But we have rotated the rest of the squad because I feel confident enough in our abilities with the squad we've got out there to beat Ludogorets today. Obviously, we've got a second leg to turn things around if we don't. But I want to save most of my star players for the Norwich game, because I think if we've got a chance still of winning the Premier League, we've got to go for it. So, in goal, as I said previously, De Gea, with a backline of Young, Tanzabe, Aya and Dalot. McTominay and Goretzka in the midfield, with Martial, Lingard and Daniel James in that attacking midfield trio, with Mason Greenwood up to 7 goals in all competitions now. He's our third top scorer at the moment, Greenwood. He's got 7 goals behind Pogba and Rashford's 10 goals. But if he plays well in the Europa League and the FA Cup where I've been playing him, he probably will end up getting 10, 15 goals this season, I reckon. But we've got to get there first. And the kickoff is upon us. We need to make sure we get a fantastic result as Young puts the ball in. And are we going to get a penalty? It's gone to VAR. It's been given. And now I'd like a bit more suspense. I say this every time we see it, but I want a bit more suspense. However, Martial continues his poor form this season and hasn't put it in the back of the net. Great save from the Ludogorets goalkeeper as McTominay puts it in the back of the net anyway from the resulting corner. Although Martial missed a penalty, and he was then offside, which put the goalkeeper off, I think, and now it's been taken away from us. So Martial has done his utmost so far to ensure that Ludogorets have the best chance of beating us today, as Diego Dalot now has a shot which goes wide of the mark. He's just not turned up, Martial. He's just not turned up to the point where I think I want to try and sell him. I want to sell him come next season. We get someone else better than him in. Obviously, in real life, Man United spent a lot of money on him. It was upwards of 70 million, I think, if I remember rightly. We can check it out in a minute, can't we, I suppose? But he's just never turned up in this entire season. I mean, he's got 6 goals to his name, I think. Maybe 6 might be a bit generous as well, but that's him being as the main striker for half the season. 6 goals, it's not good enough. It's not what we need. So he probably will find his way out next season. Let me know what you think as well. Should we get rid of Martial? I think we do. I think we really need to get rid of him pretty quickly. We use that money to get someone else better in. Of course, I mean, we've brought Everton in. He's massively better. He plays on the other side of the pitch to Martial normally, but you know, he's a better player. As Goretzka now hits the post, Greenwood's shot is saved. We're having all the opportunities, but Ludogorets somehow are just about holding on. Of course, this is the away fixture, so we want to try and get as many away goals as possible. Ashley Young into McTominay. Cleared, unfortunately, for us. We might have another chance to come forward, though, as Diego Dalot puts it in towards Jesse Lingard. Daniel James now on the edge of the area, back to Dalot. We're just sort of faffing around a little bit too much, but Greenwood, with his 8th of the season, just before half-time, finally gets the goal against Ludogorets that puts us 1-0 up in this first leg and gives us a crucial away goal as well. Dilly-dallying around the area. I mean, the thing is, it's not quite the style of play I want to see, I don't think. But it is working. We are beating Ludogorets. We're second in the Premier League table by a point. So I can't, there's no point changing it because it's working. It frustrates me, seeing as we could be putting crosses into the area, but instead we just try and pass it around, pass it into the back of a net a bit too much. I'd rather see a little bit more action and a bit more pace to it all, rather than sort of patient passing around the area. But it's working, so it'd be stupid to change it now. As the second half starts, though, I'm expecting a big half from us, and I expect us to be scoring 2 or 3 goals in this second half as we look to put our stamp on this game, because then it means we can really put out a mixed team for the next game. If we win this 4-0, we don't have to worry about losing the home leg. We can just put out however we want to. Again, keep resting that first team for the key Premier League fixtures at the weekend if we want to be trying to battle towards the title, which we could be doing towards the end of the season as Daniel James is through. Can't get it in the back of the net, though. I mean, fair play to Ludogorets. They have defended really, really well. We've been a little bit unlucky with a disallowed goal and a missed penalty. I mean, if one of those had gone in the back of the net, would have cancelled the other one out, obviously. But Martial, now with his 6th goal of the season, obviously only had 5 before that. I said he had 6 earlier. Now has got his 6th goal of the season, which makes his stats even worse, in my opinion. He's got that goal, which is a very, very good one. He may have heard me talking that we need to maybe sell him, and he's now starting to think that he needs to save himself and save his paycheck, as he probably will take a pay cut having to go somewhere else. But there's a very, very good strike there. Gives me a little bit to think about, but he just doesn't do that frequently enough, as Greenwood gets his 9th of this. Greenwood's 16 years old. He's just scored a free. He is going to be so good in future. He's 18 years old. I thought he was 16. That's my bad. I mean, still, 18 years old is very, very impressive to be doing that. Taking on his left foot as well. He has no right to be scoring a free kick like that from that range on his left foot. And yet there he is. He's done it. What a player he is going to be in the future. I can't wait to see him become the talisman for England in the future. 70 minutes on the clock. I feel like we might need to make a change in just a minute. Watch his highlight first as Diogo Dalot, Daniel James into Goretzka, putting it across to Martial with tons of space. Tons of space. Ashley Young, all the time in the world to deliver a ball into the area, which he doesn't do. But Martial, McTominay, Lingard, Greenwood, Daniel James, saved. We'll make a quick change out there, though. Goretzka's looking complacent, so we will... Let's swap him with Christopher Ayer, actually. Let's do that and bring Harry Maguire on at the back alongside Tunzabe. Let's see how Ayer does in the midfield, actually. Corner up for us as Ashley Young swings it in, cleared, but only as far as Ashley Young. He can put it back across, but no one there, unfortunately, as Scott McTominay now putting it back in towards Diogo Dalot. And we're under a bit of pressure there. Good pressing from Ludogorets, but obviously not getting close enough as we've got a bit of space from Diogo Dalot to put the cross in. No, of course, he's never going to put the cross in. Instead, he passes it to Jesse Lingard, who scores a very impressive goal to make it 4-0. That's the scoreline I was wanting at the start of the second half. We've got there now. I mean, I think we are comfortably through to the second knockout round, as we thought we would be, but we've done it very nicely in the first leg. I don't think we need to worry about the second leg whatsoever. That, though, it should be that as we come towards the end of the game, Greenwood with another free kick into Jesse Lingard, who hits the post. Great opportunity there. Would have been a great goal to score. But as the clock ticks down, we end up winning 4-0 away to Ludogorets. I cannot see them coming back into this fixture whatsoever. So I'm very pleased with that one. 3 days off until the Norwich game, but of course, because we rotated the team pretty heavily, we don't need to rest anyone because we can just rotate it back, and yeah, it's beautiful. So I'm being told we need to swap some players back, and of course I was going to do that. But I love this new feature where the assistant manager just tells you what to do. It just you suggest a squad, makes my life so much easier. I love this. This is a great new feature. Makes it so much easier for lazy people like me. So thanks to the assistant manager, we've now got a team of De Gea in goal with Shaw, Tunzabe, Ayer and Wan-Bissaka in the back line. I'm going to put Harry Maguire back in there instead of Tunzabe just because I think he's a better player and I want to try and make sure we win. I don't want to risk Tunzabe scoring an own goal or something like that. Pogba and Partey in midfield, Everton, Mata Benedeschi and Rashford starting up front. What a team that is. Let's go thrash Norwich. So kickoff is upon us once again. Timo Pukki FC take on Manchester United. Max Aarons, though, what a good midfielder, right back. I don't know where I got midfielder from when I tried to say right back. He is a wonder kid and a half, and you may be seeing him in a future episode of mine when we get onto the Wonder Kid Advent calendar in December, when I go through every day for Advent in December, obviously, if you celebrate Christmas. If you don't celebrate Christmas, you have no idea what I'm talking about, probably, with Advent and things like that. But in the run-up to do Christmas, in England at least, in America I'm sure as well, you have Advent. So for 25 days, we'll have 25 episodes of Wonder Kids to sort of open every day as you would an Advent calendar. But rather than getting a chocolate bar or a little square of chocolate like you do an Advent calendar, you get a Wonder Kid. And you also get Juan Mata scoring his 7th goal of this season. Again, a lot of goals still coming from long range. I'm still not entirely sure if this is a bug or not. I mean, it must be, obviously, because it's disproportionate to what it is in real life, I would say, the amount of goals from outside the area. Of course, it's still a beta. They do release patches for the beta quite regularly to fix things, but of course, a few things take a bit longer to fix and stuff like that. But come full release, it should all be pretty much sorted out, which is very good. Looks like Man City are winning their game, or obviously they kicked off earlier, so they've already played, they won. We're currently winning, so we go ahead of Liverpool as well on goal difference now. It's all staying pretty tight as we enter half-time, 1-0 up. It's looking like it's going to be a really good episode, though. Now that I've said that, I'm waiting for Norwich to score 2 goals in the 90th minute. I can almost feel it coming, and potentially one now as Cantwell gets it into the area. Thomas Partey with a great tackle there, and Bernardeschi coming out of their half. Finally, are we going to get it out of our half? Let's get it into their half, put the pressure on them for a changes. Everton loses the ball, but wins it back quite nicely, but then loses it again. So thanks a lot, Everton, for that, you little idiot. I was a bit harsh on him. Don't know why I was so harsh on him there, as Max Aarons comes forward, the wonder kid I was talking about, and has a decent strike, but cleared by Wan-Bissaka. Luckily, obviously the manager for Norwich has said something to them that's really annoyed them, because they all look a bit cross. So we're going to say concentrate. It's made no difference apart from Thomas Partey's now overwhelmed. So thanks a lot, Thomas Partey. We'll also take him off for Goretzka. Now, Thomas Partey started the season off brilliantly. I feel like he has dropped off just a little bit. And I feel like Rashford has dropped off in today's episode. Currently on 6.6. On comes Anthony Martial. Let's give him a chance out there. See what he can do. And he nearly scores there from a header. That actually would have been a great introduction to the game. Again, though, what's the point in changing it? Look at the table. Look at the scoreline. We're winning. It's working well, this style of play. It's just not quite what I want to see. I want to see a little bit more oomph from us. That's what I want to see. So we might try and change that next season. We might try and sign a few more players who are a bit more pacey. And that's good save from De Gea. A bit more pacey, can sort of attack how I want to attack. But it's working. Either way, a good win there. 1-0 against Norwich. Obviously, not the most empathetic scoreline, but it was a good win. 3 points on the board. We stay second in the table, and PSG are still keen on Pogba. They never made an offer over January, so I presume they're waiting for summer to make their offers. And I will listen to offers for Pogba, but they have to be at least 100 million. And if we do sell him, we could maybe replace him with a player like Savic. I mean, he's coming up on the scout reports at the moment. Maximum asking price of £94 million. If we sold Pogba for £100 million, we could maybe get him in, but he's a box-to-box midfielder, as is Goretzka, as is Thomas Partey. So perhaps he's not the player we really need, but he is wanted by Liverpool, interestingly. I might just sign him to stop Liverpool signing him, sort of thing, because he'd be very, very good for Liverpool. We could even do a swap. We could maybe swap Thomas. I mean, Thomas Partey's played brilliantly this. We started off brilliantly. Now he's not quite so good, but we could do a straight swap with a bit of money, obviously, for Savic and swap Thomas Partey around. I'd rather keep Goretzka, I feel like Goretzka could be a little bit better than Thomas Partey, but I don't know, I just like Thomas Partey because we share a name probably. That's probably the only reason. Obviously, my middle name is Partey, obviously, not because we share the name Tom/Thomas. Right, I don't know what Mike Phelan's on at the moment, but he really seems to think that Axel Tuanzebe should be coming into the squad rather than Harry Maguire. Although we are playing Ludogorets, aren't we? So actually, we're going to rotate the whole side anyway. So Axel Tuanzebe will play against Ludogorets and Harry Maguire probably won't. But we're also going to try and bring in some youth players. And I'm going to show you a sneaky hack as to how you can do that very easily. As a Chinese club are offering £30 million for Lindelof. Oh, you've got to be joking me. Please, take him. So 22.5 million up front with 7.5 million in the future. Can we take this up to 30 million now? Let's make it 35 million now Nothing in the future. Because obviously we're not going to be here for that long. 35 up front. Oh, I should have gone up for more because they've accepted £35 million. I mean, I'll take your hand off for that. £35 million. Lindolf, get out of here, please. Obviously, we are going to reinvest the money heavily into defence next season. But at the same time, I think striking is also a big place we need to be trying to sign some players as well. So both ends of the pitch need a bit of work if we want to be winning both Premier League and Champions League next season. We're now heading into the game against Ludogorets, and this is what my little sneaky thing is. Get your under 23 and 18 teams there. This is the only button I've realised happens recently. I've never seen this button before, probably because I've not looked at it really. But pick youth prospects, and wow, the team has changed. So, I mean, it's not changed massively. I mean, Chong's on the pitch, Angel Gomez is on the pitch, Tunzabe's on the pitch, Brandon Williams is on the pitch. Not the most amount of youth players, but a lot of them on the bench look as well, you can see. So, I mean, that's good to see. You love to see that, don't you? So, lots of youth players now. Rotate the lineup. We're going to submit that team of Romero, Williams, Tunzabe, Lindolf, Delot, Goretzka, McTominay, Martial, Gomez, Chong and Greenwood. I think that team is going to be good enough. We're already 4-0 up anyway, and Aidan Barlow needs a number, 31, have it. Oh, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to the draw now. The draw for the second round is just after this. I reckon we can do it. So once again, kickoff is upon us, and within 42 seconds, Ludogorets have got a goal. I mean, it's not really what we wanted to see, but they've scored a lucky goal. We're still 4-1 up. We've still got 4 away goals, so I'm not really fussed about this whatsoever. But it's not the way we wanted to start today's game. As Brandon Williams now on the ball into Anthony Martial, cleared to Tunzabe, but Goretzka into McTominay, back to Goretzka, into Angel Gomez, across to Diogo Dalot. Great little play. That was a great pass, to be fair. Cross in, Greenwood, 10th goal of the season. And that, I don't think has Rashford scored today? And I don't think Pogba has. I don't think either of them have, which means that Mason Greenwood has now levelled their goal scoring record. He's now the joint top scorer at the club. And he's probably played the fewest games out of all of them as well, which is crazy. At this stage, do I start to play him up front in the Premier League instead? I mean, he does it so well against teams like Ludogorets in the Cup. The games he's scoring in are playing against teams of lesser quality. But as Diogo Dalot gets a fantastic goal there, his first of the season. But as I was going to say, if he's scoring goals here, he might be able to score the goals where Martial can't. Perhaps we should be starting him. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I'll probably put a poll on top of the screen right now as well, so get voting in that one as well, and I'll have a look back. 20 minutes into the game though, and we are looking to come forward again. Back to Anthony Martial there, Angel Gomez coming forward, but now Brandon Williams to put the cross in. Mason Greenwood over the bar, but a great opportunity once again. You know what, I'm actually a little bit gutted we're not doing this save a bit more long term, because actually I am really enjoying this save. This is, I mean, I much prefer doing saves with smaller clubs and building them up, but it's been a different experience this. Like, we've actually got money, and I can actually sign players that I know, like recognise name-wise and things like that, and it's quite good. Usually it takes me a long time to be able to sign, as Mason Greenwood grabs his 11th of the season. What a player he really is. As I was saying though, like, it usually takes me a long time to get to the stage where we can be like Man United and spend £100 million in a transfer window. It takes a long time to do that, but I like doing it right off the bat, and it's interesting, it's different for me, so I'm really enjoying it actually. And free kick for us on the edge of the area, Angel Gomez to put it in, but nothing really happened from that, so I presume this is going to be a highlight for something else, as the ball across isn't brilliant. Chong heads it down to Greenwood, back to Chong, back to Diogo Dalot. Come on, lads. A bit more urgency, and that's a great shot from Angel Gomez, to be fair, but great save from the keeper. 60 minutes on the clock. If we can grab a 4th goal now, that really does kill it off, as Martial puts that shot just over. Interestingly, a lot of complacent body language from us, so we're going to say concentrate out there. Hopefully that'll... I mean, it's gone backwards because everyone's now overwhelmed by that, which you hate to see. We're going to leave everyone on the pitch, though, because no one's going to start the next game. We'll rotate the side back around to that usual sort of starting 11 for in-between episodes. So we won't make any substitutes right now because they don't really need to come off. They're still fully fit right now, so it's okay. As Chong on the ball, coming forward with it. Can we grab another goal? Please, lads. Diogo, put it in the area. Williams, go on, have a shot from there, lad. Goretzka, I mean, someone just do something with it, please. I mean, I'm sick of this passing around because it just builds me up, and then nothing ever happens. I think this is why I don't like it so much, because it's just not decisive enough for me. Like, I just hate the dithering around as we've been tackled and it's a good shot from Ludogorets, but no goal. I feel like today's episode's been a bit more of a formality than actually challenging. I think we were expected to win all our games, and I mean, to be fair, we could always fail in those objectives, so it's good that we have met those objectives. We've won all 3 games, but it was a bit more of a formality. Playing against a side like Ludogorets, fair play to them, they scored a goal, but they were never ever going to beat us, were they? So, fantastic win there. Really, really pleased with that. We've received £500,000 for progressing into the next stage, and the draw should be coming up very soon. It should be today, on this Friday. We'll keep simming forward until we get to the draw. We'll do a draw, and then we'll work out what's going to happen next episode. So, next draw then. Some decent teams there. I mean, I feel like we can take anyone. I mean, we've thrashed Arsenal 3-0 this season. We've beaten Tottenham 3-0 this season. We've actually lost to Torino, so maybe let's not get Torino, but we have beaten them as well. Let's draw these teams then. Who are we going to get as we come up against Wolfsburg, who are one of the better teams in this draw, I've got to say. Wolfsburg, not bad going at all. How have they got on? They've not lost a game in Europe. They drew to Dinamo, but they've not lost one and beat St Etienne. So Wolfsburg are going to be tough. I think for those games, we're going to have to put out a full-strength lineup. But again, I am confident in our abilities to take them on and beat them. So when are those Wolfsburg games? Only around the corner. So next episode, we'll do another 3-game special with Wolfsburg, Everton and Wolfsburg. Of course, that also means that we'll have Everton playing against Everton, so that'll be interesting. But the heat is on now. The heat is on, the pressure's on to beat Wolfsburg, and the pressure is on to keep up with Man City and Liverpool in the league. If we can do both next episode, the end of the season's in for a real thriller. So join me for the next episode. It's going to be fantastic. Until then, though, have a good evening. Have a good one. Goodbye.